Welcome. Just wanted to do a quick video going over the league management website that I built. Show off some of the features I have on here, some of the different things you can do when you set up your league. So I just have this test league I've built right here. And obviously I have these default accounts that I've built. Whenever you come into a league, let's just delete all these right here real quick. You have none of these league franchises when you start a league. So you just come here. Let's say I want to do my league, Bowser Rulers or something. Add a franchise. You can either drag or drop a custom logo, or you can choose a default logo. Obviously, I'm going to choose Bowser. And then once you've made your leagues, you gotta add a whole bunch more. Add league, add league, add league, add a league. You can choose other default logos and do whatever you want for those leagues. And then just claim your league once you get in here. So then once you've claimed a league, then you get access to the team builder, which is a link node tree, which shows both good and bad chemistry. Still gotta finish off, updating the link nodes. Obviously, there's some bad chemistry missing, but for the most part, the good chemistry is all there, 100% accurate, and you got ability to spread the web of the link node tree, increase the icon size, decrease the web spread, whatever you need to do to really like be able to visualize and understand who has good chemistry, who has bad chemistry, and who you should be drafting basically together with each other. So you got that, and each different team has a different view. So what you do on this draft planner, like I said, I'll pick him. I want him as my shortstop. Placing this here, if somebody claimed the A team or the B team or the BCC team or the ADDD team, they wouldn't see this on their draft planner. Their draft planner will be completely cleared. So let me clear my sandbox. And then going over the draft room, as the league commissioner, I have the ability to have all these different commands to basically establish the draft. So we can do a snake draft, we can do a completely randomized draft, we can do a pure chaos draft, random pool. So you got different options there, and then this controls how many rounds of the draft. So if you only wanted 5 rounds, you'd set it at 5. I'm going to do 12 rounds, and let's just do a snake draft. Simple snake draft, generate the draft, and bam. The Bowser rulers get the first draft. Obviously, you have your captain pool of characters, you got your draftable pool of characters. If you want to add characters, say you have Mii's to add, you just type in the Mii's name, drop their portrait here, and click add player, and bam, you can add them to the draftable pool that way. But then you also have each team has a clock timer, which the league commissioner can edit in any way they see fit. They can pause it, they can reset. Oh, I guess the reset. Oh, there it goes. So I'll say the reset button shouldn't be broken. But then let's say Bowser, we're gonna start timer. And we're obviously draft Bowser as my first pick. Bam, it goes down there. But if I'm the Bowser rulers, I want to lock my view here. So even though B is picking next, let's say they pick, oh, Donkey Kong. Doesn't matter. Bam. And then the view stays on here. But if I don't have my view lock on, then it'll go to there, and it'll go Peach drafting next, and then I'll go to Waluigi drafting next, and then turns out BCC had 5 and 6 as the draft picks. But you basically get the sense. So we're just going to quickly draft through here. Doesn't really matter. This is just showing off the website and the capabilities of the website real quick. So bam, 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 bam. So we should be left with a couple more picks. Bam. Now everybody's got a pick, and then on their team diamond, they can load up their diamond however they want. So bam, bam. Ooh, this team ended up with a bunch of good pitchers. Doesn't really matter. I mean, like I said, just a random team. Characters, you can load up your diamond however you want. and this isn't just controllable by the league commissioner. The team owner can drag and drop their diamond however they want, basically. So that's all there. You have your trade tab. So trade tab both has the ability to trade players, and if there are draft picks left over in the middle of the draft, you can trade draft picks. Going over the schedule, generate a double round robin real quick, and bam, look at that. We have all the draft teams, and we have the championship playoffs, which would have auto seed. And then every single time, let's say it's a 0-0 score, resolve injuries. You'll see what the injury system is in a second. But if it's tied, score box is yellow. Whoever wins is green. And then on top of that, you have a select stadium option. So before you even, do the game, the at-home team, which at home, home, away, shows which team is playing who and who's at home stadium. So the at-home team can actually pick their stadium of choice, and then let's say Bowser Castle, and it'll show in the background Bowser Castle. Or if I chose Wario City would show up in the background. Mario Stadium would show up in the background. And this goes for all the different teams. So that's bam like that. Let's do bam like that. Doesn't really matter. But this is the schedule tab, basically, which will let you do all that. And then next we have what I like to call the wheel. The wheel allows you to do all kinds of fun things. So let's spin the wheel and see what happens here. Oh, star bonus. So you actually resolve the wheel and it actually will autofill who's on your active roster. So it's a good thing I actually filled out the what's it called, Bowser uh rulers roster. So it pulls these 6 players that are actually here are on this diamond onto the wheel. So if I resolve the sub wheel, bam. Looks like Bowser has a star bonus. So this is like a meta system basically where now in game when I pull up Dolphin or do it on my Wii or whatever, Bowser would be starred for the rest of the season. So it's just a on top of the game system that is meta system to, add some variety. You got stuff like the injury system, you got voodoo dolls, you got frozen put on ice, which basically forces you to rotate players in and out. And the wheel is not something you have to use. Like you could completely ignore the wheel if you don't want to use it for your league. But I like the idea of forcing teams to be adaptive over the course of a season. Like in a real baseball season, players get injured, they have to rest, they have to be traded sometimes. There's all kinds of stuff. So you're never going to have your fully perfectly optimized team the full season around. So forcing team GMs to, uh, draft not only for their most optimized team, but draft for bench value as well, is something this really encourages, and that's why I like it, and that's why I developed it. And then here you have your player stats. Don't worry about the drag and drop system for right now. It's not fully functional just yet. But let's just take Birdo. All right, so we'll show Birdo's current position on the field. You got all these awards you can update over time, active all-star right there. And then it shows because we already generated the schedule and each game or each team is going to play 8 games. If we go back to the stats, Birdo now has auto-filled 8 games. But if we didn't generate the schedule beforehand, we wouldn't have these 8 games right here. If there were less teams, because the schedule always generates a double round robin, right? If there were less teams in the season, there'd be less games on this tab, effectively. But I have it set up so that it basically uses the same scoring evaluation metrics that the actual game uses. So pitching, batting, fielding, running, items, and then an auto MVP total score at the bottom. And then you can also select whether or not the team that Birdo's on won during that. That'll help affect the off-season tab, which we'll get to in a second. You got your league leaders. So if we were going to player stats, and let's say Birdo did really good pitching, let's give Birdo like let's see, 100 pitching. Bam. Go to league leaders. Now Birdo's in gold and pitching, and this will update over time. You'll have gold, silver, and bronze league leaders. You got your standings tab, which I showed off a little earlier, which shows the roster diamond currently, and all your team GMs can update their roster diamond from here. So basically, just set up their diamond, and this will help you as the league commissioner or whoever is running the games in their Dolphin emulator or however you're running the games. Basically, you can just pull up the website and see, oh, this game is between, if I'm checking the schedule, it's between BCCCC and Bowser Rulers. So I can just go to the standings tab and be like, what's BCC's diamond? What's Bowser Rulers diamond look like? Oh, this is how they have their diamond set up. This is how they have their batting lineup set up, and bam, you can set up your batting lineup completely independent of your batting or your diamond setup, your field setup. But obviously, you can't have bench players on your batting lineup. You know what I mean? So until you put somebody there, they're not going to show up in your batting lineup. But then once they show up on your field diamond, then they can show up in your batting lineup, and you can change the order of batting and stuff like that completely independently. And this works, like I said, it's not just the commissioner can move players onto these diamonds. It's anybody that owns the team or the commissioner can update these diamonds. So then we go to the off-season tab. The off-season tab is really the last feature that most leagues are going to have to use, and it's only really if you also score your leagues based on what was going on during the season. So, like I said, we updated Berto's pitching to say 100. So we have a base retention floor, which you can change to whatever you like to have it at. You have a loyalty contract bonus, which is plus 5%. That's just the standard I have. You can change that to anything you like to have it as. You have a stat adjusted baseline. So this is basically the MVP total. So it's 70 times the number of games. So 70 times 8 is negative 460 because basically uh, Berto only has 100 score value. So the additional 100, so it'd be 560 if Berto didn't get 100 for pitching that we updated. So we could slide that to adjust it. So Berto's likelihood now is there if we stat adjust it all the way down there for a 10 MVP baseline, or if we bring it all the way up to like 150. But basically, if your MVP, let's say most players, if they're doing well, will score at least a 60 on a team, right? So if they're scoring 60 or higher, they get positive. But if they score less than 60, then they get negative. Ward accrual. So if we went back to player stats real quick for Berto, once again, active All Star, World Series MVPs, Silver Sluggers. So bam, bam, season MVP. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we went to the off-season tab back again, pulled up Berto again. It shows 3 accrual awards and it's 3% per each. So if you could change that, it could be 10% per each, so 30% retention. Obviously, the banner weight's 25%. So if you went back to what's it called, player stats again, and gave them a championship. Let's see on the off season, Berto. Now they have the 25% bonus as well. So it all goes into that. Let's change this MVP baseline just to see. Ooh, failed to retain, so they went back there. But you can automatically drag and drop them back to whatever pool. So Berto is now back here. We're going to attempt that again to see success. So they managed to retain Berto this time, and then return all to teams. Bam. But let's say we didn't get Berto back to the Bowser Rulers. Change that to 0%. Fail to retain. Turn all to draft pool. Bam. And then if we go to the draft room, Berto is now back in the captain's pool again. And this applies obviously to all the players. So if we went to off season and we did a non-captain character like Baby DK as a non-captain character, execute that. Obviously it's gonna be a fail. Turn all to draft pool. Bam. We go back to the draft room. There's Baby DK back in the draft pool. So yeah, this is just a little bit of the website I've been, building and working on. Wanted to show you guys my process, my, progress on the website. And I hope you guys are interested because I am looking actively for some people to help me test it out, run some leagues on it, do a whole season or series of seasons using this website that I built. And if you're interested, then follow the instructions and DM me. All right. Thanks. Bye.